Welcome back, children. Now this class also is a continuation of your excretory system. Okay. So here we will learn about kidney transplantation. See the main heading there? Yeah, kidney transplantation. So yesterday we have learnt about dialysis. I have told you dialysis is also an artificial kidney, but this topic is different from that. Here a living kidney is placed inside the body of the patient suffering from kidney failure. Okay. So there is a lot of difference between dialysis and kidney transplantation. Now, so first kidney transplantation, it happened in USA, United States of America, in Washington in the year 1954, okay, long back. If we come to India, if we take India, so in 1971 we did our first kidney transplantation in South India, in Raivellur, in Christian Medical College. It is a famous medical college called as CMC. So there it happened. The first kidney transplantation in India took place in CMC College of Vellore. Okay. Now this is about the history of this. Now let us see what is the reason why should kidney be transplanted. You already know, because of kidney failure. When both the kidneys, when both the patient's kidneys are undergoing failure, they failed completely and irreversibly. Okay. Now then that patient can be subjected to kidney transplantation. Okay. Now if you need to place a kidney in the patient's body, then somebody should donate, right? Somebody should donate. Now the person who is giving kidney to the patient is called as donor, D-O-N-O-R. So in most cases, not in most cases, in all the cases, the donor should be a very close relative, close relation, okay, very close relative of the patient. Why? Why? Because so that there are very minimal chances of the kidney rejection. Okay. If it is from very far unknown people, the patient's body tends to reject the kidney. Okay. There will be an anaphylactic reaction, the hypersensitive reaction, and it may cause damage to the patient's life itself. So that is the reason donor should be a very close relative of the patient, okay, own brother or own sister, parents, like that, very close relation, blood relation. Now these days you might have been hearing about organ donation in TV ads like that, donate your eyes. So such things we are hearing, right? Organ donation is the most supreme donation, they say that. Okay. See, what happens when our brain gets dead but the heart is still functioning? It means the heart is beating, it is giving blood supply to all the organs, but due to some reason, maybe some accident, some brain disease, something, the brain got dead, means the brain is no more functioning. The patient cannot think, okay, he cannot, no, brain, main function of brain is to control the body, right? It tells us to even to open our eyes, to walk or to sit or whatever we are doing. Who is telling us? Who is directing all our organs to do this and do that? Brain, right? So if the brain gets dead, the patient cannot even open his or her eyes, but he or she will be alive because the heart is still beating. When can we call a person as dead? When can we declare death? Only when the heart stops functioning. So organ donation is, organs are donated, organs are taken from which type of patients? From the patients whose heart is still alive but brain got dead. Okay, from brain dead people. Means you might have heard that people talking that somebody is in coma. What is coma? It is nothing but the person is alive but brain is dead. It is more or less similar to death only. He cannot move, he will be bedridden, but still the heart is functioning. Okay, slowly in course of time even the heart stops functioning. So before that organs are collected from such people with the permission of his or her relatives. Okay. So generally, this is I am talking in general sense. Generally organs are taken from such people, brain dead people. But in case of kidney, if you want to take a kidney, the donor should be your close relative. Okay. So now apart from kidneys, there are other things in our body, other organs in our body which help in excretion. You have heard of lungs already in the respiratory system. What are lungs sending out? What are lungs excreting? Excuse me. Yeah, lungs are excreting the poisonous gas called as carbon dioxide, right? And now let us see what skin does. Skin also participates in excretory function. The excess water, you know sweat, right? When the climate is hot or when we involve in exercises or active work, what happens? We can feel sweat on our skin. It means the excess water, extra salts, all used up mineral salts, they are excreted. Now how is skin able to perform this function? Because skin is having glands called as sweat glands. Okay. Now along with sweat glands there are other type of glands called as sebaceous glands. See here the spelling, SEBACEOUS. So sweat glands and also sebaceous glands are present in our skin. So what is secreted, what is released, what comes out of sebaceous glands? Sebum, something called as sebum, SEBUM. Okay, SEBUM is sebum. It is nothing but fatty substances, all fatty products, fatty acids. If we sometimes feel our skin with our fingers, we can feel some sticky thing. Water will also be there, but also stickiness. Water means if we wipe with a towel, it will go. But the sticky substances, no, we can feel that sticky oily substances. So that is because of the release of sebum from our skin. Okay. So this is how skin participates in excretion. Now coming to the largest gland in our body, that is liver. So we know that liver produces bile pigments. What are bile pigments? Pigments means colors. See, bilirubin, the other one is biliverdin and the other one is urochrome. So these bilirubin, biliverdin, these pigments, so from where are these pigments coming from? From where are these colors coming from? In our body there are red colored blood cells called as RBCs. So these RBCs, they contain something called as hemoglobin. Hemoglobin means Hb. Hemoglobin is the red pigment, red in color. So because of presence of hemoglobin only, the red blood cells got the name red. Okay. So when this hemoglobin gets metabolized, means the old blood cells, okay, they undergo metabolic activity to produce these pigments. The red color, after getting metabolized, it changes into these golden yellow colored pigments. Now if you observe your waste material and the urine, you can know the color of these pigments. For a normal human, for a normal individual, healthy person, if you observe the waste material, by this I mean that as fecal matter, okay, the solid waste which we excrete once in 24 hours. Okay. So, you can see that its color is golden yellow. It is because of the pigments called as bilirubin and biliverdin present in them. So, liver is excreting these pigments. Now, if you observe urine, what is urine color? It is transparent, okay, but what is its color? It is golden yellow, okay, dry grass, straw colored, golden yellow, transparent liquid, right. So, from where is the golden yellow color obtained by urine? From the presence of a pigment called as urochrome. Here is the spelling, urochrome, right. Now, along with these pigments, liver also excretes certain fats, sterols, okay, steroids, these are called as fats. And also drugs. Drugs means medicines which we take when we are not feeling well, we keep taking some medicines. So, these medicines get metabolized, used up by the body, and their metabolites also get excreted, right. And also vitamins, liver stores fat soluble vitamins, right, and these vitamins also liver tends to excrete. And also excess salts in the body, mineral salts like calcium, magnesium, iron, any salts, they are also excreted by our liver. Now, let us see another organ which takes part in excretion, intestine, okay. Intestine excretes the excess salts present in our body, means let it be excess anything. If we take iron food too much, if we eat non-veg, protein food, fruits, they are rich in iron. So, that extra iron, it comes out through our fecal matter, So, the extra calcium, if we take lot of milk, egg, so the extra calcium, it comes out from our fecal matter. It depends, all depends on the type of food we eat. So, intestines excrete excess mineral salts like calcium, magnesium, iron, like that. Now, these are the organs, okay. Now, tears also, our tears, right, when we cry or when any kind of emotion, tears come from sadness or else out of happiness, right. So, when tears are coming out from our eyes, in that process, these tears, they excrete the nitrogenous wastes. Nitrogenous wastes, we already know, they are nothing but the nitrogen compounds formed by the metabolic activities happening in our body, right. These nitrogenous compounds, they are excreted through our tears also. So, this is about kidney transplantation and also other organs which take part in excretion. In tomorrow's class, we will learn about how excretion happens in different kinds of organisms. Okay, thank you.